And this is look. I said before, the big talented man will always beat the small talented fighter.
One of the most eagerly awaited showdowns in boxing is the potential matchup between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Both world champions have expressed a strong interest in a fight that could define their generation. Crawford, in particular, has demonstrated a determined willingness to move up in weight and take on Canelo on his terms.
I'll be going for Bud. You know, if he fight Canelo, I'll be going for him. I mean, I don't know if he gonna win or lose, but
Although Canelo Alvarez has previously dismissed the idea, stating that a victory over Terence Crawford wouldn't earn him much credit, he has recently shown more willingness to entertain serious offers. With both fighters actively seeking high-profile opponents and no major bouts currently on their schedules, the likelihood of this matchup happening in 2025 has significantly increased. Oscar de la Hoya, despite his complex relationship with Canelo, has also weighed in on the potential clash between the Mexican superstar and Terence Crawford.
Terence Crawford says he wants to fight Canelo. He's changed his tune. He said he's willing to move up 3 weight divisions. To me, that's kind of crazy, but that just shows you, like, man, the dog that's in Terence Crawford.
Oscar de la Hoya has emphasized that his predictions regarding any potential fight involving Canelo Alvarez are entirely unbiased, sharing a bold opinion on a hypothetical matchup between Canelo and Terence Crawford. The former world champion believes Canelo's superior size and power would give him a clear advantage at 154 pounds. Crawford didn't really look too dangerous up in the ring against a beast. So imagine Canelo, being the bigger guy, being a beast. It's almost like a no contest. I mean, come on, when has a smaller good guy ever beaten a good, bigger guy? It's rare, De La Hoya told Fight Hub TV. Crawford, renowned for his technical skills and punching power, would undoubtedly face a significant physical challenge in taking on Canelo at his natural weight. While some experts argue that Crawford has the skills to compete with Canelo, the size and power disparity could ultimately be decisive. For now, the future of this potential fight remains uncertain, as both fighters have existing commitments. The possibility of an agreement depends on various factors, including contract negotiations and strategic decisions from their respective teams. Interestingly, there are few fighters who have faced both Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Amir Khan, the only man to share the ring with both, suffered stoppage defeats to each and has already weighed in with his thoughts on how a potential Crawford versus Canelo matchup would play out.
Terence Crawford will beat Canelo anytime. Anytime.
Several fighters have sparred with both Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, and one of them has now shared his perspective on how this potential fantasy matchup might unfold. Middleweight contender Caron Davis, who also faced Canelo rival David Benavides in November 2021, recently gave his take during an interview with Mill City Boxing. Having sparred with both Canelo and Crawford, Davis believes it would be an extremely tough challenge for Crawford and favors Alvarez to come out on top. Canelo is a big guy. It's going to be a lot. He can take a punch, so you're not going to hurt Canelo. I don't think Crawford can hurt him with one punch. Maybe he can cut an eye or something, bother him to the body, but it'll be a lot, Davis said.
What do I think of that fight?
Yeah.
I think that, everybody knows that Crawford got the skills. I do think that Canelo's a little big. He's a little big for Crawford.
Caron Davis emphasized the difficulty of a potential Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez matchup, highlighting the significant challenge Crawford would face. He has to get some flesh on gloves and go to the body. It's going to be a tall task, Davis said. Canelo can really fight. He has moves and traps. It's not easy. In boxing, nothing is impossible, but if I had to bet, I'd put my money on Canelo. I'm not taking anything away from Crawford, but Canelo is great. When asked if Canelo could stop Crawford, Davis noted the size difference as a key factor. He's a bigger guy. I think one punch can do it. In addition to Davis, David Benavides has also shared his thoughts on a hypothetical showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, adding more perspectives to the ongoing discussion.
It'll be a lot to get that victory based on, size alone. Not that size wins fights, but you got a guy that got size and skill.
Terence "Bud" Crawford, having moved up to the 154-pound division for his most recent fight, secured a victory against Israel Madrimov via decision. This win earned him the WBO interim super welterweight title and added to his stellar professional record of 41-0. Canelo Alvarez, widely regarded as one of the greatest fighters of the modern era, continues to dominate at super middleweight. In his most recent fight, the Mexican icon defeated Edgar Berlanga, bringing his professional record to an impressive 62-2. While David Benavides praised Crawford's exceptional technique, he expressed skepticism about Crawford's punching power carrying over to higher weight classes. For Crawford to take on Canelo, he would need to move up 2 more weight divisions, a daunting challenge for even the most skilled fighter.
Crawford throwing his hat in to want to fight Canelo at 168.
I mean, everybody wants to fight Canelo. It's a money fight. You know what I mean? I think even Inoue would come up to fight Canelo if Canelo wanted to fight him. I mean, I don't want to see Crawford to fight Canelo.
In a recent interview, David Benavides shared his thoughts on a potential matchup between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. To be honest with you, Crawford is one of the best technical fighters I've ever seen. When he moved up, I'm not saying he had problems, but he didn't look like he had the same power he had at 147. And he'd still have to come up 2 or 3 weight classes, Benavides remarked. Crawford is a one-of-a-kind fighter, but weight classes exist for a reason. I'd give Canelo the edge. Crawford, who has spent the majority of his career at 147 pounds, would need to make a significant jump in weight to challenge Canelo at super middleweight. Meanwhile, Benavides himself has long been considered a potential threat to Canelo in the ring, but a dream showdown between the 2 Mexican stars has yet to materialize.
But it will be. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a great fight. It would be a great fight, but I feel like if I deserve my opportunity, and after this fight, what else are you gonna say?
The lightning-fast David Benavides is set to face David Morrell in his next fight on February 1. Meanwhile, the potential clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford has captivated boxing fans worldwide. Following his dominant victory over Errol Spence Jr., Crawford has openly expressed his desire to challenge the Mexican super middleweight champion. Widely regarded as the best pound-for-pound boxer in the world, Crawford would be taking on a monumental challenge by moving up 2 weight classes to face Canelo. However, the road to this historic bout is far from straightforward. Former super middleweight world champion Demetrius Andrade has also weighed in on this highly anticipated matchup, adding further intrigue to the growing buzz around the potential showdown. Clip: I love Crawford. He's a good friend. We stayed in touch and traveled the world together through the amateur program. He saw me beat people up, and I saw him beat people up. The stories could go on, Demetrius Andrade shared during an interview with Fight Hub TV. But when it comes to weight and power, that stuff's real. Andrade, who was once linked to a potential fight with Canelo Alvarez, acknowledged Crawford's immense talent and skill. However, he believes Canelo has a significant advantage due to his size and extensive experience at higher weight classes. Canelo is a big bad wolf and he can go the whole night. I think Crawford has the skills. But when it comes to Saul, he knows how to take shots, block power punches, and move effectively. He's not like a robot. He has agility. It's going to be tough, Andrade explained. Clip: I don't think Crawford can beat Canelo, but I do think he can give him a fight. And I'll be sitting there rooting for Canelo all day, Andrade added. However, some disagree, believing Crawford's skill level is enough to trouble Canelo, despite the weight difference. Mitri Bivol was also asked to share his thoughts on the much-discussed potential clash between the extremely talented fighters Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Crawford, widely regarded as one of the finest boxers in the sport today, continues to generate debate about his ability to compete at higher weight classes against an opponent of Canelo's caliber. Clip: I remember when I first walked into the boxing gym, one of the first lessons I learned was to